Hey Kate, this is Mrs. Skogland. Just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback on your summer assignment. So we're going to talk through mostly this first question since that was the one you starred, but I'll kind of reference some other parts of your assignment as we go through it as well. So to start off, what I looked for in your paragraphs was a strong topic sentence which really answered the question that was provided concisely and then sort of previewed what was to come in the paragraph. So I think several different times, Kate, I noticed that obviously you got to the answer in the question eventually, but it wasn't right off the bat in this topic sentence, which is what we want. So like in this one, the difference between R and L, even if you had just told me, the L is the more logical side and the R is the more creative or emotional, that would have been fine. But I feel like just saying that the brain is complex doesn't totally go back and answer that. So that's definitely something we could go back and revise. I actually looked at the end of your sentence, or end of your paragraph rather, next, to make sure that that concluding sentence sort of ties back to the question and lets the reader know that the paragraph is over. I thought you did a really nice job with your concluding sentences, and just like I could tell it was the end of the paragraph, right? Like you clearly wrapped up and tied back to that question. So good job on those. The next thing I looked for was evidence. I think sometimes there were moments, Kate, where I don't know that you selected evidence that was the best example you could have done. So like in this paragraph, when you say that, like you spend a lot of time talking about like the left hemisphere being the essential half, like yes, that is in the chapter, but I'm not totally sure that that's relevant to this question, right, of the difference between R and L directed thinking. I think you would have been better off just getting into this stuff earlier, like the left is more about critical and analytical thought, logical processing, that kind of a thing. So just again, be really careful when you're selecting evidence in thinking, does it tie back to the question? And obviously I think that you got better as this paragraph went on, but there were just a few times throughout the project that I noticed, the evidence could have been a little better selected. I do think you're doing a pretty good job embedding your quotations, which is like integrating them into your writing. So like this one, you say the left hemisphere was deemed the essential half. So that's really nice because even with the quotes, it just flows together really nicely. And so definitely keep that up. Let's see. Next I looked at commentary. And your commentary was kind of interesting to me because I think you have, in a lot of your paragraphs, Kate, not just this one, you have a lot of commentary actually like sometimes before the quote, but especially early on in the paragraph. And I liked this first piece where you said like the left hemisphere is tied to critical thinking, analytical thought. Maybe an example or, some more significance could have made that better, but I thought that was definitely on the right track. The issue is, in most of your paragraphs, after this second quote, you just go right into what's the concluding sentence, and we don't have a piece of commentary. And I, as a reader, really am, eager for that because I want to know, like, why did you pick this quote to answer the question? So just kind of keep in mind there, you don't want to just leave the quote. We want to make sure to get some commentary thereafter. So that could be a good opportunity for revision. Finally, I looked at your conventions and citations. Citations look good. The only reason I didn't give you a 10 is technically we want them at the end of the sentence, so just kind of be careful with that. But you've obviously proofread and done your work there, so good work. And then I just wanted to comment, I thought you did a good job on your R-directed activities as well. Sorry, I'm trying to find one in particular. Oh yeah, I really liked the card that you wrote to your friend. I thought that was just really awesome, and I hope you get the opportunity to give it to him. So anyway, just wanted to give you a little feedback.